So welcome to the show, everyone. I'm saying welcome to the show. You know what? I'm having trouble hearing, so could you do me a favor and raise that up a little bit for me? My next guest is Randy Farmer, and he is the owner of Purple Mountain Consulting. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Carol. It's very nice to be here.
Now let's talk a little bit about what Purple Mountain Consulting is and why you formed the company.
Carol, I launched Purple Mountain Consulting to capitalize on nearly 40 years of experience in sales team leadership in the pharmaceutical industry, healthcare information technology, IT security. The firm provides sales strategy, sales leadership, sales operations, Salesforce development solutions for companies that want to launch, expand, retool, or maybe just fine-tune a business-to-business sales effort. You know, there are a lot of moving parts and pieces involved in building and leading successful sales organizations. It really can be very challenging, but if you do it right, it can be incredibly rewarding on both a personal and a professional level. My firm helps its clients develop a laser focus on the people, the processes, and the technology that are required to build a dynamic, metrics-driven, highly accountable, high-performing sales team that enjoys what it does and does what it does extremely well.
I need to ask you some important questions. First of all, when I asked you if you were valley-wide, you said not only am I valley-wide, I'm nationwide. Go ahead.
That's correct. I work with clients here in Phoenix Metro throughout the state of Arizona. As an example, last year one of my clients was headquartered in Tampa, Florida, and another one was headquartered in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And you also said today that the first meeting is always free.
That's right. I never charge for an initial introductory meeting because it's really important to sit down with a prospective client and kind of understand where they see their challenges being and whether or not we both feel that my firm would be a good fit for them in terms of addressing those challenges.
Sure. And I'm just going to go ahead and ask you this one off the cuff too. So give them an idea of what types of firms that you would be working with and looking to work with.
You know, my firm strictly works with business-to-business enterprises that are past the good idea and bootstrapping stages and really have sufficient operating capital to launch or expand a very structured sales effort. You know, I look to engage with clients that range in size from well-funded startups and early-stage post-startups to growth companies that have venture capital funding in place to companies generating up to $10 million a year in revenue. Now, that's not to say I wouldn't work with larger clients. I have simply geared the service portfolio toward companies that are moving along the early part of their growth curve and smaller companies where that growth curve may have plateaued or stalled.
Okay, and now your website is purplemountainconsulting.com. It's all spelled out.
That's right.
purplemountainconsulting.com. Their phone number is 314-724 3179, and again they are nationwide as well. Okay, why did you then decide, I gotta know why you decided to call it Purple Mountain Consulting?
Well, the easy answer would be that I found a really nifty Purple Mountain graphic on the internet that I could plug into my logo. But the real answer is that it is the vastness and the grandeur of our landscape here in Arizona that drew me to the state in the first place. I spend as much time as I can driving around the state. I'm an avid Arizona highways reader. And so when I was standing up my company, I thought, gee, you know, the mountains here at the dawn, at sunset, they really are purple. It's a great name for an Arizona company. So there it is, Purple Mountain Consulting.
It. Now I get it. That's awesome. And I love the name of it. Okay. So what sort of challenges then do you see companies what are they facing?
Well, you know, Carol, it's not always about being challenged. Sometimes it's just good to bring in a fresh set of eyes to take a look at how the sales organization is set up, how well it's working, what automation and support systems are in place, and what, if anything, can be tweaked or improved to drive better results. You know, that's why we have editors and proofreaders. The author of a document, or the founder of a sales team, may not always be able to see the typos, grammatical errors, or the ways in which the language can be tightened up or improved. You know, when Harper Lee submitted her original manuscript, the publisher found it exciting, it was intriguing, saw raw talent there, but it took 2 years of editing and rewriting and re-editing and rewriting to produce the final version that was To Kill a Mockingbird. Now, sales organizations can be much the same. They don't always need to be rebuilt. Sometimes they just need to be edited and fine-tuned. But generally, if the sales effort is really faltering, if a company just can't make its numbers, if they're stuck on 2 million and they really want to go to 5 and they can't get there, if they can't forecast sales and their forecasts are really more guesses than they are forecasts, the challenges tend to fall in one of 4 key areas: a lack of planning and strategy, a lack of effective support structure underneath the sales team, a lack of accountability, and a lack of leadership.
And again, the first meeting is always free. He's nationwide. The website is purplemountainconsulting.com. It is all spelled out. Their phone number is 314-724-3179.
And that's my mobile phone, Carol.
Okay, and I want to ask you another something off the cuff here too. When you're working with a client, you must have to go in there. Obviously, you're going to do your initial meeting, but then it must be that you must go in there and have to actually sort of probably work with them quite a bit to see where actually their issues lie. Is that correct?
You're absolutely correct, Carol. It is. It's not a one-day process. When we do a sales assessment, we take a really deep look at a company's sales strategy, their sales methodology, sales organization itself, and how they're approaching performance management. You know, it's really a lot more than a traditional gap analysis. Yes, we do engage very directly and very interactively with our assessment clients at all levels because we want to accurately and completely evaluate what we call the current state of the sales effort as it relates to the business of a whole. You know, the sales isn't the whole business. You've got operations, engineering, R&D, customer service, but sales is the engine that drives that business.
Without sales, you got no business.
Yep, no, as they say in healthcare and the faith-based systems, the Catholic systems often say, no money, no mission.
Yeah.
And it's true in business too. When we have completed our assessment, we compile the results into a set of actionable, prioritized recommendations for achieving that future state, what you're going to have down the road that will truly move the business forward. And then we sit down with our clients and discuss these. We make sure they understand what the next steps are, and we make sure that they're ready to take them.
Now, when you're working with your clients, okay, what would you find off the bat, probably with everybody, you know, there's number one problem that you always see?
I would have to say that the number one problem that I see in working with companies is a lack of a formal measurement and accountability structure for clarifying what are the appropriate success behaviors that their sales force needs to execute day in and day out, and a system for documenting that they're doing these behaviors and capturing the results in terms of leads, prospects, opportunities, customers, and account management. Companies fail to either spend money on, or they don't use effectively, some sort of Salesforce automation tool that captures all this information, and they don't clearly define what a framework of accountability within which their sales team can operate effectively and consistently. So, you know, what you get is you get a group of salespeople that are giving you 60, 70% effectiveness, but you as the business owner are still responsible for 100% of payroll, benefits, operating expense, et cetera, et cetera.
You know, do you find, again, that businesses, they start off, they want to do the best, right? And they start off with implementing some of these things. And for some reason, because they might get busy, you know, trying to run the business itself too, that side of it just sort of falls off because they just want they're not making them do the paperwork and the follow through and all those things to write all that down.
You know, Carrie, you just hit it right on the head. Anytime that the CEO of a business is spending more time on sales than he or she is spending on strategically growing that business, that is absolutely a red flag indicator that there are issues that would make a consultation or a sales assessment really beneficial. Business owners, nobody sets up a business to fail. But business owners do several things that sometimes kind of can compound their mistakes when sales aren't going the way they really think they ought to. first thing is that they hire intuitively. They hire based on gut feel of, oh, this person's going to be a great salesperson. I just feel it. And they do not have a structured, objective system in place for assessing and hiring sales reps. The other piece that they fail on is that they think they can hire more people and get more results, but all they're doing is diluting margin. They're still going to get 60% effectiveness unless they change the way they organize and manage the sales team.
They're nationwide. Their phone number, write it down. It is 314-724-3179. It is purplemountainconsulting.com, and it's all spelled out. Again, that's 314-724-3179. It is purplemountainconsulting.com, and they say that the first meeting is always free. So give them a call, because you know what? So many people out there are working in too many different areas of their business, and it is all about sales, and without the sales you got no business. So give them a call. It's 314-724-3179. It's purplemountainconsulting.com.